Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Welcome back to Everyday October. In today's video I'm going to be talking you through this eyeshadow look here. This is my pumpkin spice inspired, pumpkin spice latte inspired makeup look. Really warm, really smoky, really glam. I've done a lash. I'm going to go into the whole thing with you today. So if you want to see how I created this look, then just keep on watching. Hello, so I'm going to be starting on the eyes today. I already have my eyeshadow primer on, which was the Beauty Bay one, and my brows. The brows are a concoction of like 3 different pencils, so. And I don't have my brow gel through yet, but I'm going to be using the Beauty Bay Fiery 2.0 palette today because there's literally a shade that's called Pumpkin and there's a shade that's called Spice. So I'm going to be using those because obviously pumpkin spice, and I don't really know what else. I'm wanting to do more of a glamorous evening bold look today, but I do want to do a pumpkin spice look that feels more sort of everyday, so that will be coming soon. I am posting every single day in October, so I'm going to start with a fluffy brush and I'm going to dip into turmeric, I don't really know how you say that. This shade here, it's a matte and it is turmeric shade. It's like a mustardy yellow and I can't hold that palette. It is too big, so I am going to be using a different little mirror and I'm just going to run this through the crease and really blend this, like say I want this to be quite bold and quite dark by the end, so I am sort of blending this, buffing it out quite far. So that is just that one shade, but where I have built that up more sort of through like further down into the crease, I feel like that has sort of created a few different tones. Like it's definitely darker and then it's almost more of like a bright yellow right on the inner corner. I love that shade. I'm going to take a much smaller brush. I'll leave that one out so that I know which ones I've used. I need to keep myself very, very organised, especially this month. Like there's just going to be so much going on. I'm going to take a much smaller brush. This is a Cosmic Brushes CB4, one of my favourite brushes, and I'm going to dip into that pumpkin shade, which is the bright orange. And again, this one is a matte and I'm going to keep this a lot closer into the crease. The pigment on these shades, insane. And then once I have placed that colour down, I'm just very, very lightly wiggling over the edges with the same brush, and it's basically just blending itself into that mustardy shade. It's almost like we're getting a bit of a sunset. So again, I'm just going to take that first brush, light little motions, sort of wiggling over the top. I haven't got any more colour on this. I might just add a little bit more of that turmeric shade. Yeah, so easy. This eyeshadow formula is that's what it is. It's absolutely beautiful. Like it just looks like a sunset. I mean, we're not going for sunset. I do want to sort of deepen it up. I'm going to just take that same little brush. I'll wipe it off just on a glamorous bit of tissue here. And what do I want to do? I think I'm going to go onto the bottom row and go into warm to get some serious depth into this look. So again, just with that same, what did I say this was? CB4. So with that same brush and deepen that up. So it's still got that, I mean the name of the shade is warm, but it's still got that undertone that I'm looking for. But again, it's just blending into that orange beautifully. So just on the outer corner here, I started flicking that warm shade sort of up and towards the brow. Obviously I don't have any sort of tape or anything on. I am just gonna, you know, do this the old-fashioned way and just clean it up afterwards. But I did take some of that warm, the dark brown, and sort of start flicking it upwards, and then I'm just going over the top edge with that pumpkin shade, again, just very, very lightly to start creating that shape that I want out there. And I do like sort of taking the colour through the brow a little bit so that you see a lot of that colour on the eye. So now I just need to even myself up on the other side. So I'm just taking the lightest shade out of the palette, which is called Soft, the one right in the top corner, and I'm just making sure that I am completely happy with the blend on everything. I don't know why I keep trying to look in the mirror that's really far away, as if I'm going to be able to see anything at all, because I'm not. But I think I'm happy. There's like a little bit on my eye where the colour just does not want to stay. There we go. Again, even myself up. It's such a backwards and forwards when you're doing quite a dark look like this to make it even a little bit even. Like, I feel like it's gone again. I'll get there eventually. There we go. So a little bit of a little bit of a backwards and forwards just to make sure that it's equal. So I've really added quite a lot of depth right onto the outer corner with that warm shade, but you can see on this inner corner it's really only that turmeric shade, the like yellowy mustard one, and then through the middle of the eye it's basically just pumpkin. So now I want to do a shimmer, and I'm like looking at the palette. I'm fairly certain the shade that I used for last year's pumpkin spice eyeshadow look was Tiger, because it's that like orangey, but it's also got like a little bit of a pinky tone to it. I'm thinking what I want to do this year is Latte. So it's more of that pumpkin spice latte look, you know? Although I haven't used Spice yet, which is this one. I might add a bit of that. I might do that under the eye. But I think I'm just going to put Latte sort of across the lid. And then maybe something brighter on the inner corner. Maybe Tiger on the inner corner of the lid. I was thinking maybe the yellow, but I don't know if that would be too yellow. We'll see how we go. So I'm just going to take that Latte shade and I'm going to take that on my finger. So smooth. Like, I don't feel like that's going to be too out of place. So that's almost going right on the center of the lid, and I don't actually want to take this up too high. It's more of a satiny finish rather than a true like shimmer or glitter, anything like that. So I might, what do I want to do? I feel like I can't use that Tiger shade because I know I haven't even watched last year's pumpkin spice look, but I remember using that Tiger shade. So I'm like, girl, do something different. Treat yourself. But it is very, very pretty, so I don't know. I'm just taking the same brushes and just tapping over the edges of that shimmer. Obviously, you can't be too precise when you use your fingers. So what do I want to do? So this shade here is Tiger, and this is Sun, which is that yellow. I actually think that that will look okay right on the inner corner because it'll sort of bring out more of that turmeric shade that I put on the inner corner. There's just so many options. That's my problem. There's also Peel, which again looks more like a satiny sort of finish. It's not as reflective as Tiger. For a palette of like pumpkin spice shades, I don't know what shimmer to use. I might just go in with Sun. I'm gonna just do that. At least then I know that it's different from what I did last year. So I'm taking quite a dense brush because my nails are quite long and I won't be able to get into that inner corner. And I'm thinking if I sort of disperse this over the middle part of the lid and also over that latte shade that we've already put down, it might just sort of shimmer up that shade a little bit. Ooh. It is quite yellow, but actually I think with the oranges around it, I think that that works. It definitely adds shimmer. There's definitely more shimmer in that shade than the latte one. So I just added quite a small amount of it. I could definitely build it up if I wanted to. If I wanted to. I could definitely build it up and add more, and the way that that is going over that latte shade, it's doing exactly what I wanted it to do. Pretty. I don't know why it looks like there isn't any shimmer like right in there, because it's there. I can see it. I just feel like it's not necessarily showing up on camera. So I am going to sharpen this up. I'm going to add a wing and add mascara. I got myself a lash applicator and they were like buy one get one half price, something like that in Superdrug. So I got the Cat Eye Style Studio London lashes. Can you see those there? They're like a little, they're not a half lash, but I'm thinking I can cut them down so they can be a half lash. I need to concentrate on liner, mascara and lashes. So I'm gonna go off and do that, and then we can do the rest of the face and something nice and smoky under the eyes. I've got out some of my favorite autumnal products. So liner, lashes, and then I will be back. Okay, so I feel that that was semi-successful. The lash applicators definitely helped me. If you've seen my channel before, I am not good at lashes, but I feel like they look quite different. This one looks more round and this one looks more cat eye. I did cut quite a bit of those lashes off as well, and I still feel like they look very, very dramatic. But let me zoom you out and we can do the rest of the face, because like I say, we have got a lot of my favourite products out on the table in front of me, so I'm excited to get the rest of my face done. Let me zoom you out. So I'm going to be starting with, I'm not going to be using a primer today. I'm going to just start with foundation, the Sleek In Your Tone 24 Hour Foundation. This is the shade 2N, and I'm going to do a couple of pumps. Want quite a bit of coverage on the palm of my hand. Get my hair out the way, and we blend. So that's foundation blended in. We're looking blank. Looking like the eye bags need concealer. Going to use the Collection Lasting Perfection Concealer. This is in Extra Fair 4. And I'm going to use a brush to blend this out so that I can be a little bit more precise around this eyeshadow. But just cancel out those eye bags. I am just going to sort of brighten down the centre a little bit. I will blend the centre out with my sponge, and then go in with a brush for the under eyes. I will probably bounce over the under eyes with the sponge, but I feel like blending it out with a brush to like get it close to where that eyeshadow is. I'm also not really worried about the brows. I can fix those, but if I just take my concealer brush and tap in and take it up to where that eyeshadow is, I can just be a little bit more precise with it with a brush. This is a Technic brush and I'm a big fan. I don't know what it is. I think it's like the angled concealer brush or something like that. Really, really like it. So that's like started to be tapped out with the brush, and then I'll just make sure, going with the point of the makeup sponge. This is the Eco Tools biodegradable sponge. These are my favourite ones. By far. I am going to be doing a video this month where I talk about my favourite brushes, eye brushes, face brushes and sort of tools like this. You will hear me talk about these again. I love these sponges. So I'm just buffing over with that eyeshadow brush right on that inner corner where maybe that concealer got a little bit all over everything. And before I continue, I'm like looking and talking at the same time. Before I move on to the rest of the face, I just want to finish up the brows. Gonna go in with the e.l.f. Wow Brow, just because I love it. And also I feel like when you do your brows before foundation, sometimes they can get a little bit dusty looking with the foundation through. Obviously out here there's all that eyeshadow through the brows, and this just re-fluffs. So dragging all that product through and then sort of shaping them how I want them to be. A little something like that. I just feel like re-fluffing them makes all the difference. Especially at this stage, it can look a bit, I just like to add that sort of colour back into the brows at this stage. So for bronzer, I thought a matte bronzer and a glowy blush. I'm gonna do it. So I'm using the Barry M Tropical Heatwave Powder Bronzer, and this is in the shade, oh, it's got a shade and I never remember what it is, but I know that it is a shade because there's different colours, but either way, this one, it's probably the lightest one that they do. I'm just going to warm up the skin a little bit. I purposefully wanted quite a warm bronzer. Obviously there's a lot of colour in my eyes, so I wanted something that wouldn't be too cool toned, that would sort of complement the amount of colour that I've got on my eyes, and this is a really nice matte option for that sort of a thing. I am also just running that colour a little bit. I sort of pinch this brush, it's the Real Techniques blush brush. I pinch it and sort of go down the sides of the nose. Nothing too precise because you're just asking for trouble if you make me do anything too precise. And then for blush, my favourite autumnal blush, the Milani Baked Blush in Berry Amore. I just love her, and I think that this will look really lovely with the warmth in the eyes as well. It's definitely a slightly deeper blush, but I feel like I can get away with that with this amount of colour on the eyes. And even though this is a glowy blush, and I love the way that this looks, like the glow that this gives, like I say, we are going glam. So I am going to be doing a highlight as well. I brought this one over, I haven't used this in a while. It's the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Powder in Blossom Glow. Honestly, I just picked it because I haven't used it in a while, and I thought, why not? So I'm just tapping in very lightly because if I remember rightly, this is blinding. So very, very lightly over the top of the cheeks. And I'll go back in with that blush brush. I feel like this is slightly more pink, but any highlight is good for me. Oh, it's one of my favourite steps, and it's one that I don't do enough when I love to glow as much as I love to glow, you know? So if I just tap over with a bit of the, just whatever's left on this brush, it sort of diffuses it a little bit more. I love this blush. I love highlight. I love all highlight. I love all blush. I'm not picky. It still looks really nice and glowy, but like it's not too summery. I don't feel like this looks too summery. We're definitely getting into the autumn looks now, and I'm thrilled. So I'm going to go back into the eyeshadow palette. I've put all of my brushes on the top of the palette. Let me just open it up. So I will go in with the CB4, which was that long one, and I'll just go in with Pumpkin, which was the more orangey shade that I sort of put across the middle, and really tap that off. I don't want any fallout ruining everything now, and I'll run that all the way along the under eye without the hair that's attached to my head, and I'm going to join this up on the outer corner. Just a little tickle. Did I say what eyeliner and everything I was using? The eyeliner was the 17 Tattoo one, the one that I'm obsessed with. Ink Legend Tattoo eyeliner, that was the liquid liner. Then the mascara that I used was another 17 one, the Bigger Better Lash mascara, and then the lashes were those Studio London ones. I just realised I never said what they were, so can you see how blue my eyes look? I love these tones on blue eyes. I'd love that. I'm using a new texture spray mousse thing in my hair, and I just feel like I look like I've been electrocuted. Not what I was going for. So I'm just going to dip into a little bit of the darkest brown, which was called Warm, and just add that right on the outer corner, and I can smoke it right out because we're going dramatic today. Yeah, there we go. Very, very happy with that under eye. So I'm just going to take that same little brush that I was using to put that sunshade across the inner part of the eyelid, and I'm just going to add more of that a little bit further onto the inner corner so that that yellow is like the colour of the inner corner highlight, if that makes sense. And I'm almost sort of blending this upwards so that it adds a little bit more of that yellow onto the lid. It looks like toasty fire sunset pumpkin spice eyes. I wasn't sure about that yellow, but I actually really like it. Is it technically a pumpkin spice shade? No, but is it in keeping with the autumnal theme? Absolutely. I'm going to just add a little bit more of that mascara onto the lower lashes, and then I don't know what lip direction I want to go in, but let me just do the mascara first. I don't want to jab this into the side of my nose like I always do at this stage. So the lip option that I brought over is the MUA combo that I just wear all the time, which is the Intense Colour Lip Liner in Heroic and the Satin Sheen Lip Stylo in Super Nude. I don't know if this is going to be too light, but I'm gonna try this first. I'm wondering if I want something a little bit more toasty. A little bit sort of warmer and deeper. Let me just try this one. Do we think that that's too like pink and nude? I don't know. I think I'm okay with that shade, you know? I think I'm okay with that lip combo. So let me take these out of my hair and let's see how I feel. Need to do something with my hair. I am not loving it today. I feel like I need to do that trick, you know, that people do where they take like a tumble dryer sheet and like smooth out my hair, but then I'm very aware that I put a texture spray in. I just feel like it looks like a lot. I don't know, but I think I'm happy with the lip combo. I think I'm happy with how all of this has turned out. So the first look for Everyday October, of course it had to be pumpkin spice. Let me know what you think. I would absolutely love to hear if you recreate this look. Do let me know over on Instagram or in the comments down below. I am just Millie Davison on Instagram, the same as I am here. I hope that you have had a fantastic day so far. Thank you so much for spending just a little bit of time with me today. I am posting every single day this month, so I hope you managed to catch me at least once a day over here. But until tomorrow, thank you ever so much for watching. Bye.